Hey everybody, this is Tim, freshly sheared, and I just want to give an update on some of the stuff I've been doing with the handcart. This is going to mostly cover tops. Been working on the tops. John Duckett made a couple M500 tops for me, and I've been finishing them out. So I'll go from there. So the first part of these is the grommeting process. So the first thing I had to do to take the canvas top is actually mark them. So what I actually did is I made like a little stencil or a little template here that would make sure that the grommets are marked in the exact same spots on the corner. So that's how I did it. I put them I basically took my Sharpie and I marked spots on all the corners, and at that point then I installed the grommets on all the corners, and then I went through and then used a straight edge and then measured out the distance between them, and then marked them and then installed them. So to install a grommet, I bought this grommet kit. I believe this was $45 for this kit, and you need to buy it the correct size for the grommets that you're using, and a lot of that has to do with the rope size that you use also, so you got to figure all that stuff out. So anyway, first thing you do is you put the rope, or put the canvas on a block of wood, and you have this cutter is what this is. So then you put this on top of it and you whack it with a hammer, and this actually cuts it out. And I'll show you here. Here's some of the pieces that it cut out. No, they're not coming out right now. Here, there we go. So this is what it actually cuts out. And you may have to hit it a couple times to get it to come out, but it seems to work pretty well. And usually this block of wood, if you drive this die into there, usually it will cut it out. So then from there, then you're ready to install the grommet. So there's two pieces of the grommet installer. Basically, I put this piece on there, and then you put the fabric on top of there, and then like this, and then you whack this with a hammer. And one thing I did find is don't do this on my workbench. Do it on the I did it on the concrete floor. It actually worked pretty well on the concrete floor. And then I usually flipped them over and made sure that they were seated. So the ones that I did on the workbench were kind of messed up. So anyway, that's how you do this. So this kit was $45. I got the gross of these grommets. I think they were like, I think with shipping maybe $65. So they end up being about 44 cents a piece for it. So anyway, that's what's going on with that. So I finished one cart. This is my fairly nice original cart. It's not the one I'm working on right now. My 43 John Wood. So I installed all the grommets. Now there's a question of how many grommets go across the front. I saw some on handcarts that had 6 and some that had 8. I went ahead and went with 6. Some people on the forum are questioning that, and that's fine, but it looked like the original ones. My guess is that there were probably both styles on it, and I could actually go in and install another grommet if I wanted to make it 8, but I think 6 actually works. So I went ahead and installed all the grommets, and then I put the rope through it, and then I added the different hooks onto it. So here's the hooks to hold it down. Now there's some question whether they go inside or outside of the canvas, and the way that it actually shows in the manual is on the outside. But my guess is there's variations on this. And then the way I fasten this is I just use some baling wire underneath it. Now I'm going to go back. I have to go back and re-stencil the manufacturer's mark on it. As you see, there's a little bit of slack here. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out that slack and undo the baling wire and retighten that so then it stays on. Now, another thing that I did do is the canvas was sagged a little bit, so I put a cardboard box in there, and then I sprayed the cart with hot water using just like a Windex bottle that I had washed out thoroughly and put hot tap water in there, and it stretched and tightened up. And now actually it should stay like this. So it actually worked out pretty well. Again, you can kind of see the slack in here. Also, you can see my cover has been stenciled. I bought that and just used black spray paint. So this is cart number 1. And here I'm working on cart number 2. And this is the first one that I did. So it's basically grommeted already. And now I just need to, it's also been stenciled. And I just need to run the ropes and add the fasteners, which are over there currently drying from the paint. Now for the fasteners, they're supposed to be black oxide, and I could go through the trouble of spending about $25 for chrome remover, about another $25 for parkerizer, which I may do that at some point, but at this point it's just not worth it, especially as little use as these are going to get in abuse. So currently I stripped them using a sander, roughed them up. I used primer and I painted them black, and then I'll put a coat of matte finish on them. Actually makes them look pretty good. Here's one of the ones. If you look at it, it actually doesn't look too bad. Of course, I don't think it'll stay on there with a lot of abuse, but these aren't going to get a lot of abuse. So anyway, this is this one. I haven't shrunk this one. Now, as I said, I did mess up and do 2 of the grommets on the workbench, and I had to redo one, and that's how I ended up with this kind of mess. And that I retucked the fabric underneath there. I think stretching will make this look better. It's always going to be just a little bit messed up though. And this one was completely messed up. So I tried to replace it, didn't work. And so I finally just had to cut it out. I actually took a piece of new fabric, put in a new grommet, and I used fabric glue and glued that in there. And of course, it looked really bad. So then I went through with some OD paint and kind of touched it up. So if you get down out to about right here, you don't see it as well. And once you get rope on there, it won't look as bad. Again, that's kind of a learning curve for me. So this cover is basically done. Once I get the hooks done, and then here's the rope. Again, I just ran the rope through there to figure out what the length is, and I've actually got some baling wire. I went ahead and primed it so it wouldn't rust the inside of the cover, and then when I get that inside there, I'll tighten it up, and then I'll come back and tighten it up a couple days later. So also, again, if anyone's interested, I've got some new made crossbars. I've still got 2 left. I had 3 extras, and I've sold 1 on eBay. These are $30. And I'm talking to the company about making some more of these. I haven't heard back from them. I'm hoping to have more of these within maybe a week or 2. And then I've actually got these original takeoffs as well, which I'm selling if people need them for patterns. Again, I'm selling these for $20 a piece. They've been shortened, obviously. They're kind of ugly, but they at least show you what they're like. So anyway, that's what's going on with the handcart project. And I think it looks pretty darn good. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll update you when something else has been going on.